have our microphones if you have a question. Who's got the first question? We'll start with Meredith to your right.
Aaron, you said yesterday that you guys haven't had your full discussions on what the roster is going to look like. How close are you to making those decisions? I know it's not due until tomorrow morning.
Yeah, we're fairly close. Just waiting on a few things to unfold the rest of the day today, and hopefully have it finalized by tonight.
DJ said he was going to go through a full workout. Do you expect him on that roster?
I don't know. We'll see. That's one of the things obviously we're waiting on. So we'll kind of make that determination tonight.
Eric, to your right here.
With DJ in Texas, he said he felt like he was getting his swing off pretty well. Is it a matter of the toe still is bothering him, when he's swinging in the box, or is there something specific that you guys are waiting on him?
Yeah, I think it's getting his swing off. I feel like he was still compromised. I mean, that's what I was seeing. So, kind of want to see how he is today and what he's able to do and make that determination.
Bruce in the first row.
Aaron, what's your confidence level in the depth of this lineup when you look at it offensively and the belief that you'll get contributions from a number of players?
Yeah, I mean, you have to if you're going to go on a deep run, right, and be a champion. I mean, you got to get it from different places at different times. We've gotten a little healthier. Obviously, we'll have Matt Carpenter part of things as a good weapon off the bench. Getting the Rizzos back and Giancarlo back. I feel like Giancarlo's trending in a really good direction over the last week and 10 days. But it's, obviously Glaber's swung the bat really well for us here down the stretch, but, it's going to take a big shot from everyone in different moments at different times. And I do feel like we have the people in there capable of hopefully doing some really good things offensively.
The first row on your left.
How are Wandy and Clay doing, and how comfortable are you using them in high leverage situations as they come back from injury?
Yeah, Wandy's good to go and totally comfortable. And then Clay, I feel like is going to be. He's actually going to throw a little bit again today. So, I mean, they're both going to have to. For us to realize our goals, they're going to be in some big spots and have to get some big outs.
David, the second row on your right, Aaron.
Actually, this is a follow-up to the last question. You've got Domingo going into the bullpen, and the next part of this question could be getting into roster situations, but how confident are you in Domingo's transition to the bullpen? And number two, even guys like Castro or Abreu, leaving out roster definitive comments, but could those guys contribute as well?
Yeah, they have to. I mean, I think, J-Mo early on is going to be in the bullpen for us too. Domingo, I mean, it takes everyone. It takes everyone during the season, and you're going to have to get some level of contribution from everyone in the postseason if you're going to reach your goal. So these guys are all prepared. Everyone that's on there is ready to go, and looking forward to taking our shot tomorrow.
John, second row.
You noted all throughout the last 2 weeks just how well Aaron Judge was handling everything, but with all the pressure that kind of was on him those last weeks, have you felt in the last 4 or 5 days maybe a release of some kind? Have you seen anything that that he did get to relax and did get to reset?
No. I mean, no. He's the same. I mean, that was the beauty of going through. I mean, the good thing has been, for Aaron and for a number of our guys, we've tried to take advantage of having some days off finally, and hopefully that's something that serves us well. We've tried to strike that balance between giving these guys live looks, and they've, racked up some at-bats, but they've also been off their feet a lot and a time to rest up a little bit, and I would say Aaron, embodies that.
Bob, seated on your right.
Aaron, this is actually a follow-up to John's question. Do you think now that the home run chase is over, there'll be some normalcy to Aaron's at-bats from now on, or is the bar now set so high that there's no going back to the old normal?
I mean, I'm not sure exactly what you're asking.
Well,
like,
I mean, fans, were expecting a home run in every at bat, and clearly that was the vibe in the entire ballpark. And
yeah, I mean, this is the postseason now. I mean, this is obviously every pitch is huge, and people are hanging on every pitch. Similar to how it was down the stretch when in his at bats in games that weren't affecting the standings towards the end there. I mean, I don't know. We're like, you're just uber focused on the moment and trying to be victorious. So, I don't know what the.
I guess I'm asking. I assume that you're hoping that the ballpark doesn't come to a dead stop doing every pitch.
I think it's going to be the playoffs. I think it'll be very playoff-like, right? Yankee Stadium in the playoffs, it's going to be pretty raucous, I would imagine, tomorrow night. A lot of energy in the building, a lot of anticipation, certainly when Aaron's up, because it's Aaron Judge and what he can do. But, no, I don't think it'll be necessarily similar to, when he was 60, 61 and stuff like that. I think it's going to be the playoffs.
Stay there with Joel, then Brian.
Aaron, I'm sure there's urgency no matter what to win in the playoffs. I'm just wondering, is there anything more accentuated because you don't know where Judge is going to play next year to kind of get a championship during his time here?
I don't know. I don't look at it like that at all. Aaron and I have been together now for 5 years, and every year we've had a realistic shot at this, and we feel that way now, and that's, I mean, we are so focused on the here and the now and the present that's for another day. I think he understands that and has lived that, and that's who he is. Our focus is on this team and trying to be the last team standing. So that doesn't even enter to my mind.
Brian, the second row on your left.
Aaron, do you see Tyone just as a long reliever, or are there other ways you can use him?
No, I mean, I think he could be a starter later in the postseason. No, I think he could be anything from a long reliever to close a game. Like, I mean, I think he's in play for anything.
And then this bullpen looks a lot different than the one you broke camp with. No Chapman, no King, no Green. How confident are you in locking a lead down after, say, the 7th inning?
Yeah. So I'm really confident in who we have down there. Obviously we don't have necessarily the traditional roles or even the roles we've had going into some postseasons we've had, but we do feel like we have a number of guys down there throwing the ball really well, capable of getting huge outs, and hopefully, we can get them into, situations and parts of the lineup where they have the best chance to be successful. So we have a lot of guys capable down there, and it's going to take all of them. And I could see a number of them hopefully closing out games for us too.
Go Dan, third row on your far right.
Aaron, who do you have down in the bullpen? Have you finalized what your bullpen's going to be?
We're about finalized. We're kind of still letting some people know, what we've decided, and yeah.
And we've talked to you a lot about Cole the last few weeks. The one bad pitch, the one bad inning. What can you guys do before, or what have you been doing to help him prevent that in such a big game tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, it's more just making sure we're prepared, making sure he's prepared as best he can, and focus a lot on all the good that he's done this year and even down the stretch. Obviously avoiding the long ball has been a bugaboo, but there's nothing we're doing like, anything to physically or prep wise. We're leaning into how he's going to go attack Cleveland, and then it comes down to execution. And if he executes, nobody's better.
With Lindsay up front to your left, then Randy.
Aaron, sort of on the whole, what do you make of Garrett's season, reaching 200 innings, strikeout record, that?
Really good season. obviously because it's Garrett Cole and because he came here and signed a huge contract and, the long term and the ace of this staff, the New York Yankees staff, nothing will ever be necessarily good enough. But I think he's had a very strong year. The home run balls hurt him a little bit to keep it from being, I guess probably going to keep him from winning the Cy Young and things like that. So I feel like he's throwing the ball incredibly well. I feel like he has all year. I feel like his stuff and has been really consistent. The long ball's been the thing that's kept it from being a Cy Young season. And there's no reason to think he can't go out there and dominate. And again, it comes down to execution. If he goes out and executes, we'll be in a good spot.
Randy, the third row.
Is Giancarlo now healthy enough that left field could be an option for the postseason? And does anything change now that Carpenter's back that could, if he could play left field, that could open up a DH for Carpenter?
It's possible and in play, or I wouldn't expect it in play these first couple games. I'd have a hard time putting Giancarlo in left field at Yankee Stadium, especially right away. So we'll see as this thing unfolds. Giancarlo's going to, kind of work towards that, and maybe at some point in the postseason it'll be an option, but we'll see.
Is he healthy enough to do that now? And is it
We'll
kind of
see.
a tricky situation because you want him to contribute offensively and don't want him to go backward?
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, he's going to prepare. He's doing well the last week or 10 days, and I think you can see it in his at-bats. I think he's got to another place physically, which is good. So we'll just see. I mean, he'll kind of determine that as he's able to work through it, and we'll see what Carp is and how much availability we have with him. But I'd be reluctant to put Giancarlo in left field here out of the chute.
Go to Ron and then Ed.
How much shorter is your leash on starting pitchers in the postseason than the regular season? And what's a situation where you would make a change in now that you wouldn't normally?
Well, every year's different. Every staff's different. I think for us, one of the things I feel really good about is I think our starters match up well with everyone in the playoffs starters. So I feel like if we're going to go deep in this and if we're going to win a championship, I think it's because our starters pitched really well and probably pitched deep into some games. So every game's different. Every game is different, but I don't think my hook becomes quicker now because I believe we got to lean on our starters.
And is the extra off day after 1 and 2 and having Tyone and Herman a factor at all in your decision making?
Sure. Yeah.
We'll go to Ed in the back.
That's what I was going to ask, Aaron. Hi. I was just going to ask about how the off day after game 1 may be altering your decisions with your personnel.
I mean, I guess it factors in a little bit. We're probably going to go 12 pitchers, and part of that is having a couple off days in there where we feel like we can withstand that and obviously have some guys that can give us some length out of the pen. So, I guess it probably factored in a little bit. Hard to say specifically how it did, but I mean, when we started kind of voting on things and getting opinions, like that's baked into the conversation and to the equation is this is the schedule.
And what about Cleveland concerns you the most?
They do a lot of things really well. They're athletic. They have a number of guys that run really well. They run the bases really well. They catch the ball. They can pitch. They got a really good closer and a really good back end of the bullpen. And I think you're seeing a young team that's kind of continued to get better and better and better, and played a lot of meaningful games down the stretch and went and took that division. They grabbed it, and so they're a team playing with a lot of confidence right now, and do a lot of things really well. And we certainly understand that we have to play really well to beat them.
We'll finish up with the second row on your left here.
Aaron, with you and Terry Francona both coming from baseball families, like with your backgrounds, how do you think it affects how you feel the game should be played and managed, if at all?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, everyone's, I guess, experience affects who you are. I don't know if there's anything about our background that makes. I don't know. I'm not sure how to answer that question.
That's great.